The day was calm at the moment. People woke and went about the particulars and necessities of their morning preparation. The sun rose, the breeze ruffled the grass, rattling the budded limbs of the mulberry trees. Quiet reigned, save for the mutterings of traffic of small town streets and parking lots. The stage was set. Michael opened the front door to his apartment, looked out, breathed the outside air. Something on the wind stirred him, told him to be ready. He couldn't pin down the feeling, couldn't say with any certainty that he truly felt anything out of the ordinary. Still, he put on his shoes and checked the pockets of his jacket. Keys, phone, and wallet were all present. He moved to leave his home, had his hand on the door. Then he let go of the doorknob, turned, and proceeded to his bedroom dresser. He reproached himself for walking on the carpet with his shoes on, but made the journey regardless. On top of the chest of drawers was a bowl of various trinkets, loose change, and random junk one tends to find in one's pockets at the end of the day. He rummaged through the chaos until his fingers struck a familiar shape. He put the buck knife into his back pocket. Michael left his apartment and proceeded to his car, climbed into the driver's seat, and set off. The lump of metal pushed against his hamstring as he drove. It was strangely comforting. He hadn't carried a pocket knife since he was a teenager, had neither met nor seen a particular need for it in his adult life, though it brought on a certain nostalgia. As he drove, musing about the past and its interloping with the present, he began to forget more about the small blade and started to focus on work. He was a line cook at a local restaurant. He knew the truck was coming today, so he started preparing himself mentally for lifting boxes of product and organizing shelves in the walk-in. Not his favorite part of the job, but it kept him busy and helped the day go by. Arriving at work, he made his hellos and how are yous to coworkers. It was a good crew today. He was grateful for that. Plenty of otherwise good days can be soured by ineptitude or worse, a bad attitude. Everyone today, though, showed up to work to do the work. The truck pulled up to the back door and he set to his task, hauling boxes, cataloging contents, and rotating stock. The pocket knife came in handy on several occasions. He was impressed by the small pride he felt having his own tool for the job. It made the work more personal and fluid. The day ended much as it began, without incident or fanfare. He clocked out, made his goodbyes to various colleagues, and left. Driving home, he decided to take a bit of a scenic route. It was dusk, and the farmland near his small town looked particularly lovely in twilight. He drove a leisurely pace. He rolled down the window and sparked a joint. Feeling the buzz run down his body, he relaxed into the driver's seat and turned up the radio. He sang. A few miles into the detour, he saw something in the road. A large black lump, seemingly devoid of features in the failing light. It was not until he was almost on top of the object that its identity clicked in his mind. It was an Angus steer. The cattle out here were branded and free range and were occasionally hit by passing cars. Whoever hit this poor fellow had evidently wasted no time sticking around or alerting any nearby farmhouse. Michael slowed his speed to a crawl to go around the animal. As he passed the unlucky beast, he saw it move, craning its neck to look directly at him. Michael could see the animal was unable to move its hind legs. Its back was broken. Its eyes bulged in distress. Michael held eye contact for a moment, sighed heavily, and put the car in park. The task took only a minute. A small stream running through the adjacent ditch allowed him to wash up afterwards. He slumped into the driver's seat and closed the door. He drove home at the speed limit with the radio off. Upon arrival, he took his boots off at the door, undressed, and tossed his clothes into the washing machine, but did not start it. First, he showered. He turned the water on as hot as he could stand and scrubbed every inch of himself with a will. Afterward, he left the bathroom and started the washing machine. The washer ran for a bit and then started making a clunking sound. He paused the cycle and opened the lid. His pants from the day were on top. He checked the pockets and found the buck knife, seemingly clean after its time in the wash. He carried it back to his dresser and placed it in the bowl. He made sure it was buried within the bowl's assorted contents, unable to be seen by any passerby. He considered making dinner, but found he had no appetite. He tried to watch television for a short time, but nothing could hold his attention. Ultimately, he turned off all the lights in the house and went to bed. On the verge of sleep, he could not help but let out a sob. A tear fell on his pillow. Michael slept deeply and did not dream. For this, he was grateful.